Guess who's back? Back again. It's me. Hi again. Second upload. So, how you guys been since the last incident? Did y'all go to therapy? What happened? Tell me, comment down below. Tell me now. Anyways, so the reason why I'm back so early because I was watching something. It was like a romantic thing, the people being romantic, coming together and stuff. And the person said, "You're my other half." And he was like, "You're my other half." And then they kissed and stuff. Anyway, that's not the point. And it had me thinking, and I'm like, other half? What the fuck? Why am I your other half? Like, I never, and this goes back to, like, years of me, of no watching movies that said, "You're my other half, you're my other half," or blah, blah, blah. And I always thought that, like, other half, like why, like, oh my god, I can't even explain, because personally I don't want to be someone else's half. I want to, and when someone says that, I always think that, oh, they're not fully developed in their own way, meaning that they need someone else to kind of fill an empty space, or fill some sort of socket where, now if I have this person I call my half, now I feel full, but without them I'm just a small speck of dust, but with them I'm this fully formed person. And for me, I think you should be a whole person, not a half, but a whole person. And then your whole person becomes, uh, uh, whole person is with the whole person. Because say you have a you have a half, means that you yourself are not full, and you will never be full unless they're always around. And unfortunately, like, no one sticks around forever. People break up, people die, people leave for no reason. And to say that you want the other half is like, dude, so that means if the person that leaves you is gone, you're gonna be a speck of rice instead of the full packet of rice. You're gonna choose to be a speck of rice and be a half of a person. No, I do not agree. I personally believe that you should be a fully formed person. You should be a whole of a person instead of being a half, because that means when you're alone, you feel inadequate, and you feel as though your love for yourself is not enough unless you get love from an external entity instead of getting love from your personal self, which baffles me. So I truly believe that a whole, you should be a whole. A whole should be with another whole, because if a whole and a whole comes together, they kind of wholeness kind of like intertwines like this. It doesn't, like, it's not this, but it's like this. It kind of makes like an infinity symbol, the infinity symbol, which obviously if a hole in a hole is with each other. That doesn't mean that the love is forever. It just means that you are willing to share the love you have for yourself with someone else because you fully love yourself. You find alone. But then you meet this person who's also fine alone, and you come together and you can kind of share this commonality and actually lift each other up in a way where I don't feel less than if I'm not with you, but when I'm with you I feel fuller, and when I'm not with you I still feel full. So I think to be a whole person with another whole person is to a whole and a whole together. I feel like that's the best way to be in a relationship because you guys are fully formed. You guys are comfortable alone. You guys have worked through the trauma, through whatever you were going through. You know your turn ons, your turn offs, you know your triggers. You are a whole person, but that's not to say that you are that's not to say that you can't grow further. And that's also a thing with being with a whole and a whole being together, that you can also discover things that maybe you had thought of, let's say a trait you had thought of, like, and you looked internally to see, am I that? And then you look through all your memory and like thought about it and was like, nah, I don't think I am. And then you let that go. Like, you don't try to force a personality trait onto yourself, or force this narrative that you're this. No, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. If you're not a nice person and you're whole, you're not a nice person. At least you can look within yourself and say, hey, yeah, nah, I don't think I'm a nice person, because you can't think of anything that you did that was nice. If in your perspective you didn't think about it. So if it doesn't fit, let it go, let it fly away, just let it go, let it go. And also sometimes if you're also with the whole person and this whole person sees a specific trait in you that you, like, a long time ago said, nah, I wasn't that person can also come in and actually confirm that for you. And it's up to you to take it or leave it, because you have to also like look within, saying, is what this person saying actually fit in my eyes? And you think, and you're like, oh yeah, I did this, I am that. So being a whole in a relationship is being able to learn from the other person, because you also learned something from yourself, and you're not afraid to discover new things or to grow from something. The whole you're my other half thing doesn't work in the real world. It doesn't. In movies it sounds nice, it's like, oh, like, you're my other half, meaning that I love you so much that I want to actually be with you. I don't want to separate from you. In theory, it seems like something nice, but in real life, no. To feel like this one person is your whole world, this other person is your focus point, this other person, like, you can't fathom this person leaving because you feel inadequate without them. What the actual fuck? No, no. Like, to think that you can be, I mean, we're all individuals, we're all at the end of the day, we have to go inside our rooms and lock the door, shut the door, and actually be with ourselves. If you're with yourself and you feel less than, or you feel inadequate, or you feel like you're missing something, how the fuck do you think you can actually be in a relationship? Because you being someone's other half means that that person has to regulate your emotions, and they have to be some sort of pillar of, they have to be your foundation, and you need to be your own foundation. I refuse to depend on someone so much that if I'm not with them, I feel like a speck of sand, a rice grain, one fucking grain. No, no, like no. Let's not do that. Let's actually be in solitude and actually get to know ourselves, discover ourselves, so that we don't feel like a speck of dirt when we are with someone, but then when they're gone, like I yo I can't fathom, I can't understand, I can't wonder why someone would think that they are nothing without someone else, and this whole my other half, you're my other half thing only works in movies. Like, if one of you guys actually is with someone and feels like this person's your other half, no, you need to break up with them and find yourself, love yourself, and then get back together with them and actually see how it feels like to be a whole person with them. If they see you as other half, they need to do the same, and you can come together as a whole and make the infinity symbol. But the infinity symbol doesn't have a cut off end, so you be, you know, the Olympic ring, yeah, like this, because it really doesn't, like, I can't think of any relationship. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I don't know anyone in a relationship right now, so I'll be lying if I said I can't think of anyone in a relationship who's the other half. The other half are still dating. I was trying to make a point. It didn't work out because I don't know anyone in a relationship right now. Yeah, so not even my mother's in a relationship, so I can't say I have an example, but from my point of view, from my brain, from my opinion, I think being someone else's other half is actually detrimental and is very, how you say, is very just, you know, you're being so unfair to the person and to yourself, because now you feel as though you need an external validation, external love, and external support, and external barrier, like, in order for you to feel whole, whereas you can do that for yourself. Like, no one needs to be a half of a person alone, but be full of a person with someone else who is not always around, who won't always be around, because people die, people leave, people cheat, people break up with each other. Like, dude, if you're that person, please get your shit together, please. For your sake, if you're in a relationship where you see your partner as your half, reevaluate, think about it, say, why do I think he's my other half? Am I not for myself? Because, you know, some people can trick themselves and say that, oh, I'm a full individual, I self-love, I love myself, yeah, blah blah blah, and then they get into a relationship, jiggy to now is feeling inadequate when the person says goodbye. Yeah, okay. And now you're there in your own bed thinking, damn, I miss this person. Damn, I don't feel this love that they give to me when they're there. Damn, I feel like I can't breathe without them. Damn, I feel inadequate. Damn, whatever. And if that's you, please reevaluate, take your time. Actually, if you're feeling that when your man leaves or your woman leaves, just like, okay, maybe when I said break up with them, I was dramatic, but at least kind of, evaluate why you feel that way. Kind of be your own therapist. To be honest, I think you don't really need a therapist if you are able to talk to yourself. If you're able to look within and actually think, why is this, and actually find a solution. Therapy, you don't need it. But if you can't, talk to someone, talk to a friend, talk to your brother, talk to your mother, father, or maybe get a therapist. I don't know. But then, personally, I just deal with things internally. I look within and actually find solutions and evaluate. And to be honest, that works for me. I've been in a position where I'm like, I felt like a speck, not because of love, just because personally I was going through some shit. Something was taken away from me, and I just felt very alone and stuff. And I actually dealt with that by myself. But actually, fun fact, okay, not fun fact, but before I, learned something, I actually went through spiritual psychosis, and I started meditating heavily. I tried to astral project. I was fucking going on fasts. I was there. I went through this some spiritual psychosis. When I say I meditated not every day, but when I was deep into meditation. When I felt when I felt a certain way, I would just meditate and meditate, then wake up and then feel like a peace. God, I was living like a monk. Not like I didn't shave my head or anything, but I was living like a monk. Not saying, sometimes spirituality can help you, but then once you start to spiral it, I was looking at Kundalini, I was reading some Egyptian book and something. I was trying to do yoga. I did mantras. I looked at mudras. I tried to align my chakras. I actually believe in the whole chakra. I do believe in some spiritual practicing the spiritual things, but the thing is, I did all of those things, and that didn't get me anywhere, because I thought that would fix me. But no, I actually needed to look within. I needed to find myself from myself, not from some guy on TikTok saying you need to align all your chakras and do kundalini, open your third eye. Oh my god, I tried to open my third eye multiple times. I tried to astral project multiple times. Did I open my third eye? No. Did I align my chakras? Not fully. I couldn't get past the sacral chakra. But then again, I was going through some shit. So, if you need to go through some sort of psychosis to learn from something, do it, because I went through it, learn from it. And now I know that, no, I just need to look within. And, I'm thinking of getting back into meditation, because, it's very calming. But then again, when I did meditation, it was hardcore. Like, I would sit outside, I would sit in a cross, my legs were crossed. I would meditate for hours, nothing past 2 hours, but I would sit literally every time I felt some sort of emotion, bad emotion. I would go outside, take a mat, sit on it, and close my eyes and try to meditate without fail. Every time I had a bad emotion, I would do that, and I would think, I'm like, damn. I mean, in some way it's a good thing, but it didn't help me because I didn't actually try to evaluate anything. It didn't really, it helped with, releasing the thoughts from my mind and actually clearing my mind, but it didn't help with emotions, regulating me, dealing through something. No, meditation, love, perfect, but to use it to try to regulate your emotions or to deal with something, not the best way to go. But maybe because I was just doing every spiritual thing I could to deal with my things, could be. But then again, I just learned that, reflection is a big thing. Reflecting on why you felt this way, just talking to yourself. Basically, that's what I learned to do. Just look within, talk to myself, find solutions for my problems. And you know what, I'm not gonna say I fully am a whole, or I am complete, or I'm fully grown. Obviously, we never stop growing as people. We'll forever evolve, forever grow, forever learn new things. But I can say right now with certainty that I love myself internally, and I am quite happy with the person I am, the person I've learned to become. And yeah, I think obviously there's more work to do on myself. You can never stop working yourself, but I think I am a quarter away from being an actually full person. I just need to do other things. So you need to do more things. You need to find yourself. I think I talked about self-love in the first video. Dude, it all goes back to that, because it's very important to just be alone and be comfortable with yourself and get to know yourself. But anyway, I'm not gonna repeat what I said in the last video. But yeah, anyways, I think other half thing is bull fucking shit. You just need to be a whole. You need to be a whole person in a relationship, and you both need to be whole. Because if there's one hole and another half, that one can end back, because now you feel the need to regulate their emotions, and they feel that you are gonna lead them because they know that you, in some way, you are more evolved than them. It's just gonna end in a bad breakup. Or maybe you try it for yourself and tell me how it goes. A whole person will comment down if you're whole. Another half and a half person come down if you're whole, and then I'll set you guys up together, and then we can create a dating show based on you guys' experiences. And then when you break up, which you will, wait, I'm sorry, when you break up, and then you can you guys tell me what your relationship, and I can analyze it and I can make a video on it. See, I have content for days in my brain, content for days. So if someone is single and is a whole, and if someone is single and is a half, we need to link you guys together so that we can create a social experiment for my channel and actually discover, can a whole person and a half person actually be in a healthy relationship? Because the whole person is gonna be so nonchalant, it's gonna be so dude, and the half is gonna be weeping and spiraling, having manic episodes, going through psychosis. Oh my god. No, let's be whole, guys. Let's be a full sphere, a full circle, and be with another full sphere, full circle, and just love each other and love our individuality, because being an individual in a relationship is key, so that you can both be individuals together. and you can raise individualistic children, and your children can raise individualistic children, and their children can raise individualistic children, and their kid can raise individualistic children, and then the whole family tree will be full of people who are individuals. Damn, like, that would be nice of a family tree that's just so woke, so developmentally, so juicy, and so zero trauma. So thanks for watching. I'm done now, so think about what I said, and goodbye, bye bye, toodaloos. If you're happy, clap your hands. Okay, I'm not doing that.